Hi guys, Lindsay Wilson here from Positive Performance, and today I'm going to do a little mini training on improving your team's culture. So before that happens, I am going to share this video with my private Facebook group for coaches, and I can do that right now on my computer, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about it. Hold on. Hope everybody's doing well. Hi. I can't see who's on, but I'm sharing a group. Here we go. Positive Performance. Okay. We are live in Positive Performance Mental Training for Coaches. Okay. Guys, Lindsay Wilson, Positive Performance Mental Training expert here. And today I'm going to talk about 4 ways for you to increase and improve your team's culture. Now, this is obviously more directed towards sports coaches, but really when we're talking about culture, it can be for any group that needs to improve their culture. Now, the impetus for this is Positive Performance. We're going to work with an ACC school this week, and we're improving their team's culture. That's the big focus of our workshops in the next couple days. And I was working with Courtney Thompson, who's going to do these workshops, Olympic volleyball player Courtney Thompson, and she knows a ton about leadership and team culture because obviously USA Volleyball that's been their big focus, and Karch has done a great job with that program. And so we've been talking a lot about, really breaking down how you develop awesome team culture, and I'm really excited for people's feedback on the things that you've done to improve team culture as well. I think every team is different, but I think there are some principles that are pretty universal as far as getting people bought in and getting a direction and helping people really stay clear about where we, meaning the team, is all headed. So let me break down exactly what we talked about. Okay. So there's 4 big buckets where team culture is particularly, like, all of these buckets have to be, or I should say all these buckets need to be at least looked at for the team culture to improve. And the first is really the individual mindset. I mean, the individual mindset is so critical. I mean, I've been on teams where people didn't really feel, hi Beth, people didn't feel good about themselves, and you've probably been in this situation too. I've done this. If I'm not feeling great about myself, I even subconsciously tear down other people. You get jealous, or you're not happy for people when they're successful. I got a thumbs up on that one. I think that's the basic part of leadership and culture. Is it's like the principle, I'm okay, you're okay. Oh, Beth, so I think that is so critical. If someone doesn't feel good about themselves, if they don't have the mental skills and mental health and emotional well-being, it's really hard to get them on board with improving team culture and then to be able to do the work that they consistently need to do to maintain that team culture. Which takes us to, okay, so first is individual mindset. I think that's really critical. The second thing is behavior and like the team behavior. And this is the 1,000 little ways that people contribute to culture. It's, who takes the bags, it's who cleans up after practice, it's who keeps score, who leads the huddles, who talks to people when they're struggling, who engages with people when they're injured, the language that they use, especially when things aren't going well. And this is in the million little ways. Every team that I've been on, every great team that I've been on, there's always been almost like a secret language, of the locker room where, like, I bet if someone else walked in that wasn't on our team, they'd be like, what are they talking about? And like, they wouldn't get any of our jokes. And there's that trust that's built up again in like these million little ways, oftentimes unsaid, that just shows that you have that person's back. But again, if you don't have that, I'm getting some thumbs up. I think that's Beth. Thanks, Beth. I hope your vacation was good. If you don't feel good about yourself, it is so hard to do those little things, because it's kind of like when, when you're stuck in traffic and you don't want to am I the only person that does this? Like, you really don't want to let somebody into your lane because you're like, I've been waiting here for how long, and you're just going to swoop right in. And it's like, because you're not okay. I'm not okay. I have road rage. And I think the same thing happens in teams. If you're not feeling good about yourself, it's really hard to do those little things. It's really hard to use the right language when it's, frankly, easier to just fly off the handle. It's really hard to do those little things that make up that culture. So individual mindset and team behavior, okay? First two. The third step is going to sound like you can skip it. And I assure you that this is a really important step. And this is, especially when I'm like working with a team, like we're doing a workshop, and I would say this as a coach, if you're sitting your team down at the beginning of the season, they have to make a conscious decision to live this, which is improved team culture every single day. Because you know and I know that shit's gonna hit the fan at some point during the season. They're gonna be sick of each other, you're gonna lose, you're gonna be traveling, or there's gonna be finals, or it's whatever. They're not gonna wanna be there because it's, holiday break. And so they have to decide that is something that they're willing to do. Because and a plan for when they don't feel, and it's not easy to keep up that team culture. So I think that's a really important, that when things get hard, they have made a conscious decision at a single point, and that you can go back to and say, you remember in August when we sat down, we did that workshop, and we decided that this year was going to be different. Making that conscious decision, again, it's going to seem like, Marco, thanks, improving every day, good advice. Yes, so every day, it's like you have to go back to that point when they decided that they were going to buy into changing the culture. You can say, remember guys, in August when we sat down, we said, this is gonna be our year, we're changing the team culture, remember? You see how that's different than just saying, we talked about this one time. No, there was a day when they decided that this wasn't just what you wanted as a coach, it's that they decided they were bought in. Again, easy to kind of skip that step, but I think it's really important. Okay. The fourth step to all this, and fourth step actually has multiple steps in it, but this is the action plan moving forward. Again, because we know things are going to get hard. Yes, Beth, draw a line in the sand. Like, that was our past team culture, this is our future team culture, and this is where we're going. The action plan has multiple steps. So I think the first thing that you have to do, so the action plan is like, this isn't just a thing that we talked about one time, right? We're actually putting this into action. So we have steps we're going to take. And the first step is, what does your team stand for? And I think it's really important to give a little bit of color around this. One of the things that Courtney and I talked about and that we like to do is, like, let's say you are a volleyball team. Okay, this season, when someone comes to watch us play and they are leaving the gym on a Friday night, what do you want them to talk about our team? How do you want them to talk about our team when they're in the car and they're driving home? What are they going to say? Are they going to say, man, that team really crumbles under pressure? Or, gosh, they look like they don't even like each other? Or, man, they kind of have attitudes on the court. We've all been to those games. When they're rolling their eyes at the ref or the coach or each other. We've all been to those games. We've seen those sporting events. Or do we want people in the car to say, man, the Hornets, they didn't win, but they play so hard to the very last whistle. Or, man, they look like they have each other's back. They're so positive. They look like they're having fun. And so what does your team stand for? And again, the buy-in on this is huge. Like, your athlete saying, yeah, I get a choice on, like, when people come and see me play or see us play, what do they say when they leave? And try to get that pride of, like, yeah, I mean, you could not care and just say, oh, I don't care what people think. But, like, or you could say, wow, I really want people to be inspired when they watch me play, win or lose. So getting that buy-in. Okay, so that's step one in the action plan. And in this one, you really can take that one step further and create a mission statement for your team. This will take some time. This is a real workshop, but it's like brainstorming. What do you want our team to stand for? And then coming up with a mission statement. I think this is laying a really good foundation, because you can say that sentence every day in practice. You can put it up in your locker room. That could be your mantra. And the thing with a mantra or a mission statement is like, it's going to help you self-correct, right? So it's like it's almost like a GPS, right? You're in the boat and you're pointed towards, that place that's beautiful and happy. And Marita, hi. Oh, what a nice surprise. You're pointed to that place, and at some point the boat's going to go off course, right? Like, we know that. And so it's just, how do we self-correct? It's really hard to self-correct if we don't have a destination. So a mission statement can really serve as that destination. And it's just like a constant reminder, like just like driving a boat, it's like you're going to be off all the time. It's really about self-correction in little tiny ways, but you don't want to wait until you're way off course, right? And so keeping a mission statement or mantra can really be that thing that leads your team. Hi, Ma. I hope you're doing so great. I miss you. Marita and I played basketball in Turkey like 1 billion years ago. She was the best teammate ever. Speaking of good teammates, she was the best. Okay. So underneath the action plan, we have what you stand for and the mission statement that comes out of that. The second part is really establishing, or I should say, building more of that foundation of team culture. And I like to get athletes journaling on a couple different things. Question one. What are 3 things, and remember this whole section is all about the action plan. What are 3 things that you can do every day to improve our team's culture? What are 3 things you can do every day? And give them some time to journal and think about it. And these don't have to be big things, because it's something they're going to do every day, right? So what are 3 things that you can do? Discuss that. Question 2, and I really love this because this is so realistic, is what are 2 things that could keep you from acting on those 3 things that you want to do and improve team culture? So in other words, what are the barriers that are going to prevent you from being your best when it comes to leadership and team culture? So 3 things that you can do every day, 2 ways, that you can get thrown off from doing that. That's a good way of putting it. What are 2 ways that you could get thrown off and will get thrown off, because we know that's going to happen? And then finally, as a team, what can we do as a team to hold ourselves and each other to the standard? Like, how can we increase accountability with this team culture stuff, right? Is how we can go back to our mission statement, we can go back to our mantras, but one really simple and awesome way to do this, I'm with all of my trainings and all of the things that I teach, I'm all about simplicity. Like, what are the things you can do every day or every week? And you will hear me say this, and if you have not heard me say this before, it is easier to do something every day or every week on the same day than it is to do things once in a while. Because if it's once in a while, guess what? If you're like me, you forget. So if I know I'm doing something every day, like brushing my teeth twice a day, then I know that it's going to happen. It's in my routine. If I know I'm going to do something every Friday, it's easy to remember because it happens every Friday. So what I would say with these athletes, and Courtney and I are going to teach this in the next couple days, is choose a day of the week to come back to your team culture mission statement. And in addition to that, do a little exercise. And this is how it works. So everybody in the room, we go around, and everybody in the room says one thing they are going to start doing to increase team culture, one thing they're going to stop doing to increase positive team culture, and one thing that they're going to continue doing. Okay, so it's start, stop, continue. Make sense? Everybody got that one? It's really simple. It would be like, I'm going to start high-fiving people at the time in practice when I'm feeling the lowest. I'm going to stop hanging my head after I, miss a shot. And I'm going to continue to be a positive influence on the bench. So it doesn't have to be huge things, but everybody's doing it. And it's a once a week thing. where again, we're looking at our mission statement and our destination essentially with team culture, and then we're checking in like, how am I doing? Okay, so let me review. For those of you that just joined, we're talking about team culture and the 4 ways to improve your team culture. 1, and the most important that you cannot skip over, is individual mindset. If I'm not feeling good about myself, I do not contribute positively to team culture. And we have all been that person, I think. I know I have. So I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay, but I have to work on myself first. So that's where mental training and visualization and mindfulness and all these things that can help someone really feel good about themselves, it's going to make them such a better team member. Second one is team behavior, and really talking about the simple little things that we all have to do every single day: language, behavior, high fives, all these little things that make up team culture. All the things that go on in the locker room that other people might not even see or understand. Really important. Individual mindset, team behavior. The third, and again, a lot of people want to skip this, is making sure your team has a conscious decision to live this that they want to change. Like they want to change this culture, we're going to do it. Then step 4 is to actually come up with a plan. And some of the plan is that groundwork of like, what do we stand for? What are the ways that I can contribute to that? What are the barriers that are going to get in my way? And what was the last thing? And how can we do it every week? And then that goes into that start, stop, continue exercise. So that is my insight on team culture. Now it is your turn to be a non-passive participant in this. And I want to hear in the comments below, what is one tip that you have to improve team culture? That could be, you were on a great team. Marita, like when you had a great point guard that you played with, like me, what happened there? Or coaches, like you did an exercise with your team that improved your team culture. So anything that you have to contribute to this team culture conversation, I would love, and I know everybody in the group would love to hear your insight. Every comment, question, and insight is welcome. I think this is a really important topic, and I think we can all learn from each other. So hope that was helpful. If you like this video, like it, love it, and guess what? Now you can share it because this is on my public page. So if you're watching this live, I think you scroll up and you can press share. If you're watching the replay, you can just do like any other post and you can share it. You can share it with your coaching colleagues. You can share it with your team. You can share it with one of your athletes. Oh, I'm getting love. You guys are the best. You guys, I love, well, in person, I love hugs and kisses, but on Facebook, I do as well. So I would love for you to share it. I don't know, everybody's, sorry, I don't mean to be needy. Everybody's giving me thumbs up, but I do love them. So if you love this, I would appreciate you sharing, spreading the word about mental training and team culture and all the stuff we talk about. So remember to comment below. Would love to hear your thoughts on team culture. Have a great day. Bye.